Hey, what's going on YouTube? It's time for Tuesday Preppers, where we take a look at the in-game news for FFBE and try and see what kinds of content is coming out this week and what kinds of materia and equipments you might need to get your units ready to take on those trials, usually with an emphasis on killers and equipment that you can pick up in the game right now just to kind of like prepare. And we talk about it on Tuesday, which is funny because yesterday the news came out a day earlier. I was thinking to myself, do I want to do a Monday Preppers video or do I want to do Tuesday Preppers like usual? And I didn't feel like making a new thumbnail, so I said, we'll go ahead and do Tuesday Preppers. It's fine. So we streamed on Tuesday like normal, and we're talking about Tuesday news, and here we are. So let's get right into it. We've got a bunch of Final Fantasy VII Remake news, and then a random extra thrown in, which is kind of nice. But the very first one we got is this one here, the Unsung Epic. The Unsung Epic is a farming event, and in this event, we're going to be farming a bunch of stuff and fighting against a boss that is a bird. So we've got the A Griffin enemy. Its weakness is fire, ice, and thunder at 50%, and you can use all the breaks that you want. There's also some stuff you can get here. So if we go through and look at it, we can get the Shinra shotgun, which is 191 attack. And it's activating some bonus stuff for Rufus Shinra Remake, which is kind of nice because Rufus is also getting crowns this week. We'll talk about that in a minute. But you can also upgrade the Mithril Saber to the Mithril Saber Plus. It gives you a chance of evading and countering all enemies when you receive a physical attack. So that's kind of interesting. Gives you counter chance. That might be useful in some units and some builds. Could be kind of cool. And you can enhance these through the crafting menu. You're going to fight against demons, just like usual, but the main thing is birds, so we're going to talk about getting some bird killer tonight. Again, they're not telling us who the bonus units are because they want you to use the new category filter in the UI to try and find your Final Fantasy VII units. If you don't know who your Final Fantasy VII units are, you've probably been living under a rock for the past, like, I don't know, 16 years? Something like that. Kind of crazy. But yeah, so Unsung Epic, we need Bird Killer. There you go. But these are usually not that hard, but I do think you're going to need Bird Killer for something else. What's that? You might ask. It's this next one here, Fallen from Pride. Fallen from Pride is part of like this second one here. It is really interesting because it's a 5-race boss, beast, bird, fish, aquatic, right? Demons and humans. So we need a lot of killers for this one. But it's also going to be, useful to get this done because you can upgrade this sword that you get, a 213 two-handed sword. Particularly good for Zack or young hero Zack or Angeal, who are in the summon pool for this week. So that's kind of cool. Gives you LB damage and attack 500 for those units. And then any FF7 unit who comes to the event is going to get a 200% boost in their stats. But it is not, from this note, locked to Final Fantasy VII units. So since it's 5 races, right, you probably want to bring a nice unit that has Omni Killer. So just you can gear very easily. But, that's a lot of killers to try and put into one unit. So the Omni Killer units, and the nice premium units with Omni Killer are going to be useful here. It resists light at 100%, 50% water, wind, and earth. It mainly does physical damage, lightning damage, and non-elemental magic. So it doesn't do any imperils. You might as well go ahead and bring a magic tank that has like lightning resistance, and then just also set up your party with like mirage stacks and things like that. So if you've got Abigail, you're probably going to just laugh at this thing and take no damage. So that's always fun. But you're going to need some mirage and some lightning resist, and you should be fine. Magic tank all the way. But there you go. And then the other part of this, the heir to Shinra, this is the Silver Crown fights for Rufus. So we mentioned that Rufus is getting crowns. He's getting that gun. I don't know that I've ever used Rufus in a fight. So we're going to tonight. And he's going to be fighting. We're going to be fighting the Arsenal to get his silver crowns. The Arsenal is a machine. So machine killers can become very important for the rest of this week. And he's going to resist dark and ice at 60%, ice or fire and thunder and water at 20%. You can use all the breaks you want. And it's a machine. So machine's pretty easy to gear for. We'll talk about that in just a moment. Before we do, let's go ahead and take a look at Rufus's crowns. If we go into the upgrades, right? It's going to upgrade his break ability basically to be an 87% defense break for all enemies. It boosts damage of certain abilities of his by 5,000%, boosts his LB by 10,000%, and enables specific abilities for him. That's using his Master Crowns. Now he also gets Warring Spirit, attack 500, and then just a bunch of upgrades to all of these random abilities, which are, you know, maybe they're gonna be good, maybe they're not. He's also getting his Super Trustmaster reward being boosted as well. And if you're struggling at all with these content, good news, we're getting some new leader skills as well. We're getting Cloud Remake is getting 100%, Sephiroth is getting 100%, Aerith is getting 100% for Light and Final Fantasy VII. Avalanche Barret is getting a leader skill. Cetra Descendant Aerith is getting a leader skill. So lots of stuff for Final Fantasy VII, and Light, Dark, and Fire. And Lightning too. So lots of options, kind of cool. New leader skills, have some fun. And that might be useful to you. So definitely go in there and do that and get Rufus's crowns, Reno's crowns. We've already got Reno's crowns. I've been using them all week. But let's take a look at this last one here. The last one is Grace of Thunder, or Grace of Lightning, you know, whatever you want to call it. Thunder, Lightning. The game can't make up its mind. Advent of Purgatory, facing off against all these machines. And these are all enemies that are machines, like I said, that resist 100% to all elements innately. They do mention there's going to be an area effect boosting lightning elemental damage. It's 3 waves and it's all machines. So that's pretty cool. The final boss does a death attack, so having some death immunity is going to be very important. The middle stage boss also does stop, so that could be useful for you. If you're bringing Sylvie to boost your team's thunder damage, she also has stop immunity in her kit, so that's potentially good. Yeah, go nuts. Get you all this Lapis, you know? Everybody loves getting all this Lapis. I need 3,000 Lapis for sure. And the Grace of Lightning Emblem. Very cool. And that's really it. So let's talk a little bit about the killers you're going to need. We mentioned birds, so we're going to start with birds. There's not a ton for birds, but there's more bird than aquatic. We're going to go after Avian Eater Sense from Scorn the Genies tonight. And we had a little fun with this on stream, just kind of like putting together a goofy random team that's going to do it. And we're going to have some fun with it. So Scorn of the Genies is going to get you Avian Eater Sense. You could also go and beat the Archeo Avis. That's also weak to Thunder, just like, so you can take the same team, honestly, that we're going to show you in just a second, and wipe out the Archeo Avis as well, to get Bird Killer Plus. Lots of stuff there. Weapon Specialist from Wild Rose Furion, always good for the killers that it needs, or that it gives. The next one is me, Aquan, because the 5 race enemy is a bird, fish, randomly. So you can get Aquan Eater Sense from Catastrophe, probably one of the harder trials in the 12 types, but not impossible. And then Tiger Fangs, but then the best way to get it is honestly just Aquan Eater from Ollie, or Soldier's Protection from Ferris. There you go. You can use Aquan Killer to farm up Aquan Eater Sense, or not Aquan Eater Sense, Aquan Eater Plus. And so those are good. So definitely go after, you know, Ollie from Friend Points. You can get a ton of these for free. Piece of cake. Okay. The next one is birds. We got beasts. No. Birds. Beasts. No. Birds. Fish. Beasts. My gosh, there's so many. I'm forgetting them all. Okay. So Beast Killer Plus from Scorn of Aemon. Another really easy one you can grab. Rafflesia, Cerberus, good stuff for Beast Killer there. Valued Memories from Irvin is 100%. Vortex of the Past and Hatred is 100%. Lots of good stuff for Beast. So most people have Beast taken care of. They also probably have Demon taken care of, because I say every week that we talk about Demon and Human every week. So here's Demon yet again. Force Mysterion from Lunera has 100%. Everything else is 75% or less. Demon Killer Plus, Demon Eater Sense, Mask of Ashura. Go nuts, right? And the same is true for Human Killer. I say this every week. Always beating up on the humans. Man Eater Sense and Man Eater Sense, but don't forget about Guy's Belt. Okay, lots of good stuff. And then machines. So for machines, you could go with our Doulahan, which we've beaten up 100 times. You can get lots of TMRs from Tyvis, or Mechanic from the Royal Family for 100% from Cindy. Valued Memories for 100% from Irvin. Last Guardian from Noel, really good. Storm Bunny Jacket, Olive's Journal. All these things are just good to kind of like put together all your machine killer. There you have it. So I mentioned we're going to go after Bird, though, because Bird is in 2 different trials, and we've talked about machine and stuff recently. So let's do Bird, because we never do Bird. I feel like Bird, yeah, Bird is the word. Let's take care of Bird. So the one we're going to do tonight is Scorn of the Genies. And I did mention that you can take the team we're going to take to the Archaeoavis trial as well. And the unit that we're going to take is strong enough to do this all on their own. Don't worry about it. We're going to go into the Nemesis, Chamber of the Fallen, happens to be in the Chamber of the Indignant. So if you don't see these here, click on this little link at the top and it'll take you here. You know, this is one you're probably going to see. If you don't see Scorn of the Genies here, that's because it's on the Indignant. You got to click on Indignant and there you go. Genies is right here. The hard mode is difficulty 420. And this is where you can get Avian Eater Sense. This is 75% physical and magical bird killer. Very cool. Now, if you evoke an Esper, you get, you know, a bunch of energy restore. If you do it within 8 turns, you get 5 STMR tickets. And if you do it and with a party of 5 or less, you get a standard ticket. So nice, very easy to do. And we're going to get it done on 1 turn. So all you have to do, go into your friends list and grab a random Ibarra. Doesn't matter whose Ibarra it is. The better, higher the magic, the better. But it doesn't have to be. As long as they are EX2. Grab a friend who's got an EX2 Ibarra and you're set. So here's Eamon, okay? Eamon only has 250 Fairy, only 200% LB damage boost, 500% true double hand. I don't really know why. I'm not worried about it. We're grabbing a random Ibarra friend as long as they're EX2. Have a nice day, right? And we're going to take this team right here. So Reno, NVA, not wearing anything. Rufus, he's getting, you know, he's coming to this event because it's his week, right? We're excited about Rufus. He's got just some Bahamut synergy and Lightning Fast Legend. If you don't have Lightning Fast Legend, that's okay. Just take Rufus out and put on Mastermind Zon and just find a way to fill his limit burst. Or if you have somebody else who can do AoE Extreme Nova chaining, that's cool. As long as they can do AoE Extreme Nova chaining to chain with Ibarra, you're set. He's going to do it with Lightning Fast Legend. Cool. Sakura Dark Lineage, just wearing Esper Fill. So she's got Parasol, a bunch of Esper Fill, and that's just to make sure we can summon an Esper on turn 1. Okay. Mine is not upgraded or even leveled up. Does not matter. She's not doing damage. She's just summoning Ramuh. Sage of Thunder, not wearing anything. Okay. She's just here to do a Lightning Imbue. And that's it. You know, and then our Ibarra happens to have Fairy Killer and LB damage, like I said. And we're just going to go into it. This is a piece of cake. Boss boosts your magic damage. Cool. All that Esper fill has filled us up, and we can now summon our Esper. Dark Lineage, we'll go ahead and summon Ramuh. There you go. They have lowered lightning resistance now. Reno will go ahead and do Pyramid's Peak. Big Lightning Imperil and Stat Breaks. Sakura will go ahead and just do True Thunderstone to imbue everybody with lightning. There you go. Rufus will go ahead and just use Lightning Bolt Barrage from the Extreme Nova Materia. And Eamon will go ahead and go to the base form and use Dancing Slash. That's Extreme Nova AoE, and we're just going to chain those together. And no more bosses. Way easier than Medina. There you go, 24 billion casually. Thanks, Eamon. Good stuff. Okay, like I said, you could use that same setup to take out Archaeoavis. Piece of cake. Archaeoavis is definitely one of the weakest of the 12 types trials, and Ibarra can do it on turn 1. And I said 24 billion, and Ibarra did all that by herself. Rufus did very, very little. Okay, so definitely go out there and get you some Bird Killer. Wow, I got a lot of XP off of that. Go get you some Bird Killer. That way you can do the weekly trials. And if you really want to push for the more advanced stuff, go get the Machine Killer too. That will help you out quite a bit. The rest of them, though, like, you know, Beast and Fish and Demon and Human, like we've talked about those a lot lately, so you should be good to go. As long as you've been following these guides, you know, you should be good to go. In the meantime, we got all the stuff coming out on Thursday, so definitely come by and check us out on Twitch on Thursday. We'll go ahead and play through all the new stuff, get all the crowns, hopefully work on the Grace of Lightning because I definitely need the Lapis. And then we'll just have some fun with it. So yeah, we'll see you over on Twitch, 9 p.m. Central Time. And hope you come out if you've never checked it out before. We have a good time, good little community over there, having fun and, you know, doing random stuff like having Ibarra take on trials by herself. Otherwise though, you guys have a good night, be good to each other, and we'll see you on Thursday.